It was interesting, though, not only to see the Pelicans win, but Lonzo Ball thriving again. He led, as I mentioned, 33 points that tied a career high, 7 threes. He was a hot name at the trade deadline, Zach. He's entering restricted free agency this summer. That means the Pelicans have the chance to match any offer he accepts, but you've got to think he's going to be attractive to other teams, and we've seen teams put poison pills in contracts and things that makes it hard for the home team to match. What do you anticipate happening, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many teams with cap room, and not many of those teams need a point guard, but there are a couple, and we know that those teams are New York and Chicago, and I expect them to be interested. I just don't expect them to break the bank for Lonzo Ball. I don't expect them to poison pill the Pelicans to death or anything like that. I think he'll get strong offers, but I also think the offers will be at the level where the Pelicans, if they think he's a good fit, will and should or could at least retain him. The if there is a big one, though. And those teams that are looking at Lonzo Ball, he's had an interesting season, right? At this point, you have to assume the three-point shooting is real. 38%. He's a legit, pretty good three-point shooter. The bubble was a disaster, and he's left that behind. But he's also not really playing point guard anymore. He's sort of playing a hybrid guard. Zion is the closest thing they have to a point guard, and then probably after that, Brandon Ingram. And so you can't look at him and say, well, he can come in and run our offense the way a traditional point guard would. You have to have the right pieces, the right fit for him. So it's very interesting. I think the Pelicans, look, they've clearly gone up and down on Lonzo over the last year. I think they've got to look at him and say, he seems to fit pretty well with point Zion or whatever Zion is becoming. I mean, he's not just a piece you can let walk and assume we'll get equal talent somewhere down the line.
No, I completely agree. And the point that you made about his three-point shooting, that is key. If you're going to have Brandon Ingram handle the ball, if you're going to have Zion Williamson handle the ball, then that means he is going to be off the ball, and that's where that 38% from three, and you've seen his improvement every single year. That's when it becomes key, because he doesn't need to be a ball-dominant guard. But you can't just replace that type of passing, that type of IQ, the effort that he gives on defense. I wouldn't call him a great defender by any means, but I believe he gives effort and he has room for improvement. But I think Lonzo Ball would be a key pickup for pretty much almost any team with the way he plays and his demeanor.
I do. I've said this since the trade deadline, and there was all that action concerning him, even though he didn't end up going anywhere. His fit with Zion feels real, and when you have a guy that talented, the way Zion is, and his sort of raising up in these last 2 seasons hasn't been completely smooth, why are you disrupting one of the things that is making him into the good player that he is? That just hasn't made sense to me.
Because they're not winning.
Well, yes, that is true. But to that point, by the way, look, Zach, I agree. It's unlikely that some other team is going to poison pill the Pelicans to the degree that they lose him. But they might have to match it higher than they wanted to, and that is going to then affect the rest of their team construction. So I do think it's interesting, and we'll have to just see how it plays out. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.